All right, by now we know the drill. Let's just dive right into the passage, see if we can put anything in the blank, and hopefully that has some sort of match with what our answer choices are. Sueño de Familia is an exhibition of drawings, paintings, and ceramics that explores the artistic heritage of US-based artist Yolanda Gonzalez. The exhibition blank 5 generations, featuring works by Gonzalez's great-grandfather, grandmother, mother, and niece, as well as Gonzalez herself. So this might be a hard blank to fill, but if we can steal something from the passage, all the better. How about the word feature, right? So the exhibition features 5 generations. I mean, featuring works by the grandfather and the mother and everything like that. So that seems like the laziest way to fill that blank. Hopefully the answer just kind of jumps out to you. The word is spans, though I think maybe if English isn't your first language, this might be a weird fit. So let me just talk about it. Borrows is a more familiar word, and I can see people trying to squeeze that in there. It's not, to borrow is to kind of, ask someone to lend something to you, right? So we could maybe say the exhibition borrows from 5 generations in the sense that like it's those generations are kind of like giving to the exhibition art to be displayed. It's definitely a stretch, but the key part there is we can't just say the exhibition borrows 5 generations. Then it sounds like the generations are the things being borrowed, being lent out. But how do you lend out a generation? It's not a physical thing really, but we could say it borrows from those generations by either borrowing the art that they've made or borrowing their ideas in some way. This is definitely a stretch, but we would need that word from, and it's not here. It's not part of the choice, so we can't make that fit. It's not judging 5 generations. In fact, that would almost have a negative connotation because it makes it sound like we're like saying that they're bad or that we're criticizing them in some way. So that's not right. And neglects is definitely bad as well. That means to kind of ignore. So if it's featuring these generations, then it's not neglecting them. It's not ignoring them. It's putting them in the spotlight in some way. Now, span is a word that normally we associate with like covering a distance, right? So like a bridge is kind of like has a span. That think about like the Golden Gate Bridge going over San Francisco Bay. It's basically the span of the bridge is that big arcing roadway. And so it's covering that distance, but we can also have it in a more metaphorical sense where it's covering a distance of time. And so in this case, the exhibition is spanning or covering or including these 5 generations worth of artists. It's a bit more metaphorical than I'm used to for words or these vocab word questions, but it is a very traditional way of using that word in the English language. But I just have a feeling that a lot of people who are learning English as their second or third language, it's not a word that's probably coming up in your textbook. So it might seem a little weird, but I just wanted to use this as a reminder that that's okay. Don't just be afraid of words that you don't know, or maybe that don't quite fit the way you would want or expect based on what you've learned. You might just need to do some process elimination and kind of get down to the right answer by the words that you are more comfortable with and saying, no, this doesn't work. This is the wrong connotation. And then hopefully you can just pick the right thing, even if you're not 100% sure. So don't be afraid of words you don't know completely. Don't be afraid of words that are a little strange. Just try to feel it out, and hopefully by practicing you will get that ear for what is like the right word in English. Sometimes it is just a matter of like experience with the language will help you build that confidence in what word fits in a blank.